Let it go. So welcome to episode 118.
118.257.
Oh, don't. Really? Did you have to do that? I've just got it like straight in my head about which number episode we're on after the muddle, and now you've like muddled it.
Right, okay.
Episode 118.
118.
Of the Passion for Coaching podcast. So we've called this podcast Let It Go.
Yeah.
Not just because you're a massive Frozen fan.
I don't know where this has come from, but I watched it a few times.
How many times do you think?
Well, bearing in mind it came out in 2012, so probably about 100.
Times a year.
Yeah, probably, yeah. It's quite catchy though.
Well, clearly.
Yeah, it's quite catchy, yeah. Well, for me it is.
It's quite sweet.
Yeah.
You love
That's
it.
what Mum says anyway.
And you quite famously a couple of years ago at our end of season awards did do us a live version.
Yeah.
Word for word of Let It Go.
Yeah, I don't normally drink that often.
No,
so.
It wasn't a bad thing though.
No.
I think that's probably been like your best moment to date, I would say.
Yeah, and it relates to the podcast in a way, doesn't it?
It does really.
The scene, yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And with
shame we did do it 2 years ago.
expression, animation.
Yeah.
Like you didn't just kind of like stand there in the corner.
Yeah, well,
and
proper
just,
stars
like,
in your eyes, isn't
sort
it?
of,
Yeah. It's like tonight, Matthew, literally, I'm going to be.
It was like glitter balls were coming down, like everything. The stage was yours.
I mean, even Lauren wanted to join in.
I know.
So.
Everyone wanted to be you in that moment.
Yeah.
So we're on camp.
Yes, we are.
With Villa Buddies again.
Yeah. Third year in a row.
I know.
Yeah, is it third year?
Yeah, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we kind of just do all of our trips together, didn't we?
Yeah, they're quite fun.
Because we did Ocean Harbour here, we did camp last year, we did Iron Wales.
Yeah, Iron Wales
together. And then this one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many more adventures to come as well.
I know.
Yeah.
Which I'm commandeering you into participating in.
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah.
Not hopefully, I've already planned out.
We'll see how it goes.
The next few years.
Yeah, basically. I've already planned my life out for me.
Essentially. So this is like coming up to end of week 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
How have you found?
I've absolutely loved it. Yeah, I mean, each year it's just, well, now they're on the mountain bikes, it's just another skill that we got to develop, and every year I just love it. It's led to the community around you and the amount of training you can do, because I literally just spoke about this, going from like 8 hours of training a week to 20 hours of training a week. But it's just different out here, isn't it? And the sun's brightened up for us now. I know you guys said last week on the podcast that it was a bit hit and miss a few times. Yeah,
this is
now
like
the sun's come out.
Your least optimal weather conditions now.
Yeah.
You're like, fingers crossed.
I was going to come out a week ago. I would have probably have managed a bit more, but obviously it's meant to be like this, isn't it? So that's how we get our benefits from.
Exactly. So you've had a think about what you want to do on this podcast episode.
Yeah.
So you wanted to talk about like elevation and comfort zones.
Yeah, I know it's something we talked about on our little one-to-one we had earlier, or yesterday actually. And basically I know we got 6 words that we want to work with during this campaign in general, but one of them is elevation. And it's something I actually marked because you asked us to mark ourselves at a 10 on that. And I probably marked myself, honestly, probably a bit too high than what I should have, and that was pointed out to me by quite honestly. And then when you explained it to me, it's probably come to fruition that it was probably more accurate where you graded me. So I graded me around a 6 or a 7, thinking this week it's been pretty good, whereas you graded me more of a 3. And when you explained, to be fair, it sounded harsh, and I remember my facial expression.
So do
if I had a mirror, I could probably work it out. It's more of a case of what? But you said a 3, and the way you explained it was kind of like, wow, yeah, you're right, because I've gone from at home doing the exact same thing I would have done at home to here, but I haven't like elevated myself in any way at all. I've just stuck to my own routine, stuck to my guns a bit, including the nutrition and fueling, which came to bite me in the ass the other day on the bike ride. And it just goes, simple things like that, if you don't elevate yourself, even small things like that, it doesn't benefit you in any sort of way, and it's stepping outside that comfort zone is what I really want to try and do. But it's hard, but that's how you elevate yourself, isn't it?
So to provide context, we've had these conversations on our seminars recently, haven't we? And we've come up with 6 areas which we feel collectively are the 6 areas to help you towards having a really highly functioning and effective journey.
Yes.
So these are preparation, presentation, representation, execution, education, elevation, and we've also added a 7th now of evolution.
Yeah.
And we've had like a bit of a chat pre-camp as a collective on our Monday evening seminars.
Yeah.
About these 6 key areas, now 7, and the importance of why are they actually important? Do they even matter? And then whilst we're on camp, we set up the first week of camp by talking about these areas again. Any goals, like identifying individual goals for yourself around these areas. And then as we got to the end of week 1, I set the guys some homework, and I did it myself.
Yeah.
I'll share mine as well if you want my scores.
Yeah, we do it for elevation. Keep it linked to the podcast.
So I set the guys a homework of, okay, we're like across these areas that we've got, these 6 or now 7 areas. Go away and score yourself out of 10.
Yeah.
With 10 being I've absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
Provide evidence and rationale behind the scores you've given as well. So there's been some like thought, self-awareness and reflection time about it. And then also thinking about, because we've got like the second week of camp coming up.
Yeah.
What are the actions
you can take from building on from the first week?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So not just going through, I've scored myself like a 6.
Yeah.
Being, right, okay, I've scored myself a 6. This is why.
Yeah. And
these are the hows.
Yeah.
So it's not just vague and ambiguous and a little bit like, well, I just want to be an 8. It's like, right, okay, cool.
How'd you get that?
But it's also reversing it back and thinking about, well, what does, based on like my potential and what I can do, what does a perfect 10 out of 10 look?
Yeah.
Because it might not ever be realistic.
Well, yeah, because your 10 out of 10 maybe someone's 7 out of 10, for example. Yeah,
but they might be doing their absolute best in the world. Yeah. And you might be scoring yourself too highly. They might be scoring themselves too low, and really not thinking about, based on their own individual potential and relative to like their start point. Yeah. Actually, is that the best, or are those who score themselves a bit too highly, which is kind of the conversation we had, deluding themselves into thinking they're doing better than they are. Yeah. And it's a horrible conversation to kind of almost like ask yourself that question, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because I think originally, I even said to you that I've got these marks. I actually approached you saying, would you be happy to go through with it? And I went through with Lauren as well. I still got to speak to Tom about it, which is going to be a good conversation to have actually. Because
at least you had the warm-up act.
Yeah, exactly, because apparently yours was PG, which I don't think it was, but apparently it was, and there's apparently more to come with that. But I just find that interesting, that having that conversation with you, really open and honest conversation.
So why did you think that was quite, like, you said you thought that wasn't that tame? Because I thought it was the tame version. What was it that you kind of made you feel like that?
I've just never been, I always, because I remember, I know you said about the forms you guys give us to fill out when we first join.
Yeah.
Tom mentioned about the direct feedback.
Questionnaires for when you start.
I'm the one that said direct feedback.
Right, okay.
And I always have done when I was a kid, because of my rugby background. I've always had direct feedback, because that's how I grew up. But then you come to think of it, when I left rugby, I kind of went into my own little space, and I think that's when it approached me that I created my own little soft space rather than having a safe space. Yeah. So having this community is it throws me off in a way. So having a safe space where people can talk to me like, you're not talking to me like a piece of shit. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're giving me honest feedback, and I've never had that honest feedback. A lot of people say they sugarcoat it. Yeah. They say, oh yes, you're doing really well.
The praise sandwich.
Yeah, the praise sandwich. So you're getting criticism, but it's not highlighted as criticism. And I know it's how when I first started with Lauren, for example, that's probably how I got coached, but I just didn't know it because it felt so natural to me. Yeah. And I think that's how Lauren approached me. That's how I felt so welcomed when I first joined. I thought,
Did
sweet.
I not give off that feeling?
Well, I never got coached by you, so I never, I never had that because I never asked for feedback from you or Tom, like for the first couple of years. It's only recently, probably in the last year, probably coming from Wales actually, I actually approached you guys on feedback. Probably not Tom, because I don't spend a lot of time with him, but I know with us, I sometimes ask for feedback, not as much as I should. But I know with Lauren, I hardly ever ask for feedback unless we had, I mean, for example, I never had a one-to-one with Lauren until this year. Bearing in mind I've worked with her since 2023.
Yeah.
So it's all about, so the elevation piece, linking it back to the title of the podcast, it's like, how am I supposed to elevate myself if I don't get that feedback and I don't have that honesty? And the way we turned races around last year, for example, is having that honest one-to-one feedback and then working out how to do it. So
what's made you want that feedback now then, and like take that step to actually asking for it?
I think that's a good question, because I know we talked about it a lot last year, and me and Lauren have had conversations with this, but and then when you guys talked about that ownership piece, and I know we went down like how many seminars did we do on ownership? Loads.
Oh yeah, lots.
And it's when you said about, and I spoke to Lauren about this as well, it's when you said, where do you mark yourself on the ownership model? I don't know if it's out there on your stuff.
We did it a couple of podcasts ago.
Yeah, so tune back. Nice little plug.
Exactly.
But I said, I think I said I was like a chosen ownership, which was quite high up in the ownership model. But then, and then I said it on the podcast, not on the podcast, on a seminar. But then Lawrence went to hers at the end, and she said she was more like a reward-based one. And I was like, and I went back after the seminar and I made a couple of notes on it, and I was like, oh my god, that's me. Because it's not so much the like the financial or the like the things you get from having that level of ownership, but it's the praise. It's like the people pleasing bit, which I know I suffer with massive amounts. That I always do stuff, I go out of my way to do stuff, but then it ends up self-sabotaging myself.
Yeah, and a detriment to you.
Yeah, and the other person. So it's like I'm getting nowhere with it, but I still want to do it. So I know. I mean, we went through countless things last year when I tried to people please yourself.
Yeah.
Lauren, Tom, and I ended up sabotaging everyone. So it's like, oh, great. And then it's also, I want that praise, not something in return. I don't do something to get in return. I just want that like satisfaction from that.
Yeah, it's how it makes you feel.
How it makes you feel, yeah. And I think it's just filling a void, that sort of void thing. And it's when you mentioned, me and Lauren had that conversation, it was just like, bloody hell, yeah, how do I increase that level of ownership, even by up to the next level, for example, but then working out how I can own that and then just keep progressing, because I know one of your athletes, for example, has really took a step in what he does.
Yeah.
And I want to follow it, and I've actually volunteered to actually help him on that part of his journey which he's going for, and just so I can learn from him, because he's actually, it's a bit of an inspiring journey he's on.
Yeah.
And I think if I'm able to like impact that in a way, yes, it's going into a bit of reward ownership, which is what we just talked about, but it's also seeing what he does and then see if I can relate that back to my journey. And that
also links to like elevation, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
Because that's about how you're then, because elevation is kind of two parts, I think, isn't it? About you elevating yourself.
Yeah, but then how I can use my journey
high level of elevation to then elevate others.
Yeah, so I want to bring people up, so he's bringing me up with him, potentially, but then by me being there, and then I could elevate other people, for example, and that's the idea I want to go with, because if I learn from them, and it's not just him, for example, it's everyone in the community there, because we're all at different levels, and we all got different diverse backgrounds, so it's nice to see other people doing their own thing, and then learning from that.
And why do you think it's kind of been, up until now, you haven't maybe thought about it in that way, maybe wanted to do it, or?
It's just taking that leap, isn't it? It's just in that soft space, in that safe, not having it is having a safe place for like us all, and I know you guys talked about this countless times, but it's just stepping outside your comfort zone, which is another thing. I'm so comfy doing what I'm doing that it's put me into a false sense of security that it's okay, because I know when we had our talk, and I said to you about, I'm comfy where I am.
Yeah.
But is it comfy? Because I'm doing the same thing every day. It's like yesterday. We were gonna have a meal planned, then everyone else was going out.
Oh yeah.
And you basically said, Matt, just go out. Just go. And I was like, what?
I know. And I was actually cooking, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were actually cooking at the time, and you looked at your phone and was like, oh, everyone's going out now, why don't you just go out? And I was like, well, yeah, why don't I go out? Yeah, because they're going to a restaurant which I potentially may like.
Yeah.
I'm going with people of course I like, and I ended up having a good time. But if I didn't get that push, but then it comes to that the ownership piece and the elevation piece, that I need to make that decision myself in the future.
Yeah, it does. But like, because I think also when you like work it back, it's like, because you've taken that like huge step to actually ask me for feedback.
Yeah.
And knowing that that's not going to be a comfortable conversation.
Oh God, no.
But you also did. I did ask you multiple times.
Yeah, you did. You sure? Yeah, you did. And you said, I'm going for the PG version. And then I realised, was it PG?
And I'm not saying like. I think the best way to probably describe it is like one of my friends that I used to live with, and I did give you the heads up on this before we had the conversation.
Yeah, you did, to be fair.
I remember saying to me, she's like, I only ever come to you for advice when it's the answer that I don't necessarily want to hear, but know that I need to hear.
Yeah. And it's something you said to me last year, actually. It's not what you want to hear, it's what you need to hear. Yeah. That was after Swansea 70.3. You said that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I tried to, again, probably have that level of reward ownership thing. And it's like, I ended up in a miserable state. And I was like, what have I done wrong and stuff like that. But it's like, then you said something to me, it's like, well, okay.
That's that then.
Yeah, and it took me a couple of weeks to realise that, and it's not when you said that phrase to me, I was like, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's honest. Yeah.
Because you chose to like put yourself in that like situation, and it was a really like I really enjoyed having that conversation with you, because when someone's like open and receptive to it, and equally like I always ask feedback the other way around, so I'd always expect you to do the same as well. Yeah. Like back to me, and I always value like that rather than someone just placating and saying, oh yeah, you're doing a really good job, when internally they're thinking and looking at you thinking, well, you're not doing this, or you could be doing this better and stuff like that.
Well,
so
because that
I always see it as like a two-way thing, because you build that level of like trust with someone.
Yeah, exactly.
And know that they're not doing it to
please you.
Well, to please you or placate you, or the other way, just because they just want to be a pain in the arse and cause you a load of upset.
100%.
And it's like that balance with both. And I think it was really good that you firstly took that step to say, actually, do you know what? Yeah, I'm ready for this.
Yeah. I do recommend anyone to like do that. Like if they're not with get another coach's feedback, for example, or even someone from the community.
Yeah, exactly. Agreed.
Just having that honest conversation. I mean.
But then if you hadn't have had that conversation with me, and I wouldn't have then felt like I could have said to you yesterday, like actually go out, even though we'd already said, okay, we're gonna have like fajitas for dinner, and stuff like that, and I was literally there and I'd already got like stuff sorted.
It's always ready to go.
But then like if you hadn't had that conversation with me, then I would have identified it as an opportunity for you to then go and do something that you actually highlighted you would like to do, essentially. But maybe just initially needed that nudge. Yeah. And I think that if say like for whatever reason you'd pushed back and hadn't gone, then it'd be like, oh, actually, was that conversation even worth it? If you're not going to have that feedback
and not doing anything with it. Because it's alright having the feedback, but
exactly.
It's like, well, what are you going to do with it then?
Yeah. And so that was really cool for me, because like it's like actually that's been really useful, because like you've taken on board the conversation we've had, and then you've gone and done something with it. And then last night you were then able to, like, you went and your presence was great for you.
Yeah, because I think it links back to how I used to be like coached in a way. I know it's a different sport and a different way of thinking, but it goes to show I still can act on that type of feedback, and as in that direct feedback. I mean, it's been a long time since I've had it, so that's why I said to you it was a bit of a shock when I heard it. And I know Lauren's not like that. She doesn't. Well, she does actually more regularly actually to me now. She's very. I think it's the way either she's changing the way she coaches me, or I'm talking differently. But
maybe you were asking more questions and asking for it.
Maybe, or maybe I'm just being a dick. I'll let Lauren ask her that. But yeah, I think it's just having that direct feedback. So it's just what I needed. Yeah, 100%.
So you mentioned about the word comfort as well. I was thinking about whether we should just ban this word because
I mean, it has a time and a place. It has a time and a place, I think.
Like when you're sitting on a sofa.
Yeah, we have a little comfort time. It's fine, isn't it? You sit down watching Netflix. It's sound. But I think the comfort zone is kind of, it's more of it's creating your own little soft space and pushing yourself out. You're not elevating yourself into your comfort zone, are you? I know one of the other athletes, I know I keep mentioning other athletes, but it's still the same, you're learning from them. They always push themselves out of the comfort zone every time they can. And I mean, you even said that to me. It's like, well, they can do it, man, why can't you do it? And I was like, I can't answer that.
There is no answer.
There is no answer because you're asking rhetorical questions that I need to know the answer to, and I honestly don't have an answer to them. And it has to have an honest conversation.
Because I think, like, I was thinking about this a little bit more today when I was out on my mountain bike, my Yeti.
It's a gorgeous bike.
I know. Yeah. I know. We're very, very lucky that Silverfish and Lucky 13 helped with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking about this like notion of like comfort, and actually, are we ever even comfortable? Because we mentioned as well, like if you like when I was thinking about like, because I reflected a lot, like on the conversation that as a group yesterday we sat down and everyone brought their homework together around the 6 things, and I reflected a lot on the part that I played in like running that session with the guys, and whether I've kind of gone maybe a little bit too far, like the other way with my delivery and style, and I was kind of thinking about it myself, and whether it was fair, balanced, like required and stuff like that. And I was like, actually for me, the bit that I said at the end and like to kind of like was to try and wrap it up and think about whether I've kind of has the message that I've said got across in the right way. Was talking about it, like thinking about not just how you are being as a person like today, but like thinking about who you're going to be. And on the bike today, I was working this through in my head again, and I think it's almost thinking about when you think about this comfort piece of like which is the comfort you do or discomfort you do or don't want to experience, because we said like either way, if you're comfortable you're probably still not comfortable, because you're probably like almost like you said, like it's like probably voids you're compensating for by not allowing yourself, like wanting to push yourself out your comfort zone, because it's safe and it's known, but equally by sitting in the safe and known you're probably still uncomfortable, or you push through and step out your comfort zone, and initially it feels really, really uncomfortable,
of course, but it's never new, isn't it?
But you're also then like, well actually I feel like I'm making progress, and it's worth the feeling of being uncomfortable to push that through. And I was like, okay, today when I sat like on my bike, I was like, actually the way to kind of think about this from my side, and this is how I kind of think pretty much every single day, is like, if I were to be sat on my deathbed right now, what would I be thinking about the life that I've lived, like year to date, like to right now in this moment? Like, would I be comfortable with thinking through my timeline? And in like 3, 5, 10, 15 years time, if I'm in a similar position, what are the things at those points in time, if I were to be sat there reviewing my life, would I have wanted to achieve? Which almost then makes me feel like putting myself in a position of like discomfort today is worth it. So if I was in that position in X amount of time, sat there reflecting, I'd be thinking, actually, do you know what, I've really maximised everything.
Because I know there's someone who's no longer here with us that actually, I would say they did that 100%. I reckon their elevation was probably off the scale in some of the cases, wasn't they? Because he really treated it as it should be, and we just leave it as that, because you can't really grade him any higher.
No, you're right. That's like so much referring to like Richard is one of our athletes who passed away on camp at the last day of camp last year, actually. Out in Lanzarote, and he had gone out on a training ride, hadn't he?
Yes, for meals and everything,
and then he was when he was cycling along, he had said about how every day is a bonus.
You and Tom put an Instagram video up, didn't they? And he's like on Riverville, wasn't it? And it's like, but I don't think in terms of when we're sat in our comfort zones, when we're sat there, we're not thinking with that every day's a bonus mentality. Oh God, no.
Because you think that the next day is just a given.
Oh, exactly, it's like, I'll just get up and do the same thing again. But I mean, yes, sometimes you gonna have to because of work. We all have jobs.
Exactly.
But opportunities, if you can, of course, you can't do everything because money's money, unfortunately. But if you have the opportunity to do something, elevate yourself and push yourself out of that comfort zone, because you never know if you enjoy it. I mean, if you don't enjoy it, just don't do it again.
Exactly.
It's simple as that, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, yeah, you may have if I went out yesterday and it was a shit night, I just won't go to that restaurant, I won't go out again. Well, not go out again, but not go out like that.
Yeah.
But it's not, because I knew it was surrounded by people I liked. I'm going to a meal that I absolutely love, and I'm riding an amazing scooter down, so...
Yeah, scooters.
Yeah, then ran out of battery on the way up, so that was a hard push, but we forget about that.
So as we're heading into week 2 of camp then,
yeah.
So what are the actions you set yourself to elevate yourself and others, and also to step out your comfort zone? What are you going to do differently next week that you haven't done this week?
Just take opportunities. Because I haven't taken as many opportunities as I probably should have. I mean, yes, going on the sessions they're there, aren't they? I'm still taking those things, but they're sort of a given, as in they're there. But taking certain opportunities that may be available to me that I don't know aren't there yet, but say if somebody offers something, yes, I probably will, but I have to evaluate it personally and then review and everything. So it's just opportunities. That's all I say.
And how are you also going to initiate them?
How do you
like in spot if there's an opportunity?
Interact more. Yeah. I know we got the group on the WhatsApp and Facebook story. So if there is something that's happening, just see if I can come. See if I can just push myself out there. I think that's the main takeaway from it. Like, don't be so shy, because everyone's so lovely here. it's hard not to say no to some people, and I can't say no that much anyway. So, but yeah, just opportunities. That's all I say. I keep saying it, but
so it sounds like the training part's the easy bit.
Yeah.
So
it's there. It's there, isn't it?
Do you feel this camp has challenged you more from the other side of
the
personal development side?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I can go on a training camp any time of the year, but it's very rarely you come out with very rarely you actually challenge yourself in a personal development sort of camp. I mean, yes, the training's great, but then what do you learn from the training? You get fitter, great, but what do you learn? As in, I know we have a debrief, like it's like the swim stuff we do. We carry on doing one drill for like an hour 45. Well, 45. It felt like forever,
3 hours.
Yeah, and I said
there's one drill again and again and again.
But it's that repetition. It's how you're learning. It's not so you just do that drill. Why are we doing it? How it feels. This is what it should feel like. And it isn't. I swear. And that's the best thing about it. And that's just one session. But it wasn't just the training, it was how you're learning.
It's like demanding more from yourself, isn't it?
Mentally, 100%. Because the fatigue is going to be there from the training, but I think mentally I'm more exhausted than I am physically. And it's the learning piece. I find it fascinating. And I mean, when I first started here, I thought it was just get a coach, get a training plan, great, sound. But no, it's way more than that. And I've learned that for the last few years. But it's just, especially this training camp, especially because I know last year I had Ironman on my 9, so the training was course of volume I had to do, so it was a bit more focused on the training. But this year, where the volume is still there, but it's more about the personal development piece and how I can, with the goals I may have or do have this year, I have to be the best version of myself. I have to be the best version of myself, basically. So how can I use your framework in order to do that? And that comes into the elevation piece, stepping outside the comfort zone. And I know in times I frustrate myself and you. The face says it all. But then what can I do? Is that it?
But the thing is, like, so I love that, because and you speak so like eloquently and well about it as well, and you can see you're excited, like you're really excited about and the opportunity that it opens up for you as a person. Like, you're not here chatting about, I bashed out like 30 times 100 and look at my splits and stuff like that. You're like, actually the biggest challenge this camp has been like the mental side of like that level of like presence and concentration, thinking about who you're being, and almost just taking that moment to just pause, reflect, and look into that. And I think it's good there because you mentioned the word frustration. I think you have to use that constructively. Because I think sometimes, and I might be wrong with this, but I think there's not enough people use and channel that level of frustration. Like, in a really, really constructive way, because I'm like consistently frustrated at myself, but like in a good way. Like I love the fact that I am.
Yeah, because you can use frustration and literally just go down the rabbit hole of self-sabotage.
Yeah,
but
the other
way,
way,
use that frustration, make yourself more high functioning.
Yeah.
And then maybe even resilient to a point, and then get yourself through it and elevate yourself.
And know that you're going to become better.
Yeah,
and that's what
exciting.
I love. And I think, like in my head, like I'm constantly having this dialogue.
Yeah.
With like I was saying to you, like how I went from that conversation we had like with the group, and I'm thinking, oh god, I got on the treadmill straight after it, and I was like, have I done that right?
Yeah.
Have I? And I was like replaying it in my head, and like, okay, was that the right balance? Could I have done that better? And I'd gone through all of these things to try and learn. And that was the more important thing, was for me, like in that learning experience. It's like, well, have I been the best? Because I feel really good about how I've been like on this camp so far with the guys, and I did score myself a 9 for elevation so far. Because I feel like in terms of the guys here, but also the guys at home looking after the virtual sessions.
Yeah, you made
like
sure
loads of interaction with them, how I've coached, how I've engaged, knowing when to like sort of push and when to pull back and everything like that. So I've actually been really happy with it's the best camp I've ever done so far. Like from a coaching perspective, and
I'd agree with that. Because you've been a lot more involved than you were last year, for example. And even like swim coaching, for example, which is something you're probably not natural to compared to Tom and Lauren.
I'm not.
So, but at least you can swim.
Well, I can't swim. I could just still not drown and splash my arms around.
That's better than most triathletes.
But that for me was like a really cool challenge of in that moment. I'm thinking, right, do I need to now change my score from what I've actually scored myself for this week because of that interaction within the group? Can I get on the treadmill? Can I then compartmentalise that as well? At the same time, I had a conversation and got like Tom was going towards Laura, so I was like, can you just ask her for feedback on that? So I had that immediate feedback of actually from someone else who's got a totally different personality type from me. So I could then make an assessment. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, right, do I record a video to put up on the group? Do I write a post for the group? Do I add some clarification? Is there something else I can like add? Do I put more feedback around how I've like evaluated myself for this week? Or was it, do I think about, like I was thinking about today on the bike, is it that I could have framed it from this perspective? Like loads of different things. And it's using that frustration in a way of, instead of being really self-deprecating, think, oh well, I've screwed that up for everyone, like I've screwed this up I'm not going to bother doing anything again, I can't do engagement with the guys. Look, I've upset everyone now and I've said the wrong thing.
Screw back my hole.
Like, basically, I might as well just become a hermit again and it's done. I'm like, okay, and which is something I would have probably done in the past.
And something I do all the time.
I'd have gone down that self-deprecating route, thinking, well, I wasn't good enough, so why would I even bother to try again? And I'm thinking, right, okay, actually on the flip side, how can I quickly get move through this and channel it? And think, actually, can I use this as a positive learning? And make sure that I can then actually, what are the things I can do going forwards with it? So I think it's really good that you said you have that like frustration, because I think having that level of discontent as such in a really balanced way pushes you to want to move outside your comfort zone rather than stay in it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that.
So bring on week 2.
Yeah, week 2, yeah.
Here we go.
Another fun week. That's good.
I know.
Awesome. Yeah.
Cool. Happy?
Yeah, buzzing. That was great, yeah.
Good podcast.
Yeah, it's great.
Tick.
Get
ready for the next one next week.
Yeah.
Which I have no idea what number that's going to be now.
Yeah, 599.9.
Right, I'm just going to go pizza. We've got a
pizza night now.
Yeah, pizza night now. We've got Team Pursuit Day tomorrow.
Well, for you. I've got mountain bike ride tomorrow.
No. I'm not going to sleep tonight.
No. You're fine, don't worry about it.
But pizza will sort it all.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yeah,
thanks for sharing as well.
Yeah.
Again, stepping outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, please like, share and subscribe, by the way.
Exactly. And also elevating others in the process of being able to watch this. Because I'm sure something you said, or many things you said, will probably resonate with someone out there.
Well, hopefully. I haven't done this for nothing.
Exactly.
Right, can I have pizza now?
Yes, right.